I would like to request now, again, Canadian honorable way of saying, Honorable Consul General, United States of America, Mr. William Martin.
Thank you, Asim. Dr. Sheikh, Mr. Hamid Haroon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. When I first arrived here, there was a little rule book for the American Consul General. I opened it up, and there was just one rule. It said, never follow Hamid Haroon at the lectern. You know? I'm so very happy to be here today and to make new friends both in the Sindhi community here and that in North America. I feel very privileged to be working here in Sindh and have this wonderful opportunity to know such a special people that make this province an incredible place to live, a place rich in history and one rich in proud traditions, a land of poets and saints. I'm also very proud to see all of you here, reflections of the traditions and values of the United States, a land that welcomes diversity and cultures from every corner of the world, a country that allows all people to flourish and strive for their dreams. The people of Sindh have made me feel very welcome since my arrival. Although I often read about the low opinion the Pakistanis have about the United States, I can honestly say that I have never met one Sindhi who is not warm, welcoming, and generous. Time and time again, from Sucker to Hyderabad to Tata, and everywhere in between, I have been received as a member of the family. I cherish my friendships with the people of Sindh, and I will always carry a piece of Sindh in my heart. I arrived in Pakistan at the onset of the great floods of 2010. I was immediately struck by the generosity and compassion of the people of Sindh. I have witnessed firsthand the Sindhis reaching out to help their neighbor. I was constantly impressed with the initiative and dedication of so many Sindhis, those that would drive to affected areas with food, clothing, not expecting recognition or reward. From setting up relief camps, to offering medical services, to simply giving shelter to flood victims. The way Sindh came together to confront that extraordinary challenge was inspirational. I learned early on that Pakistan is a resilient nation with infinite potential. And I know many of you sitting here were selfless in your efforts to help your fellow Sindhis in a time of crisis. I'm also very proud that the United States provided much needed help during the floods of the past 2 years. As you know, the United States responded immediately with immense effort to deliver aid to the people of Sindh. Our efforts included not only hundreds of millions of dollars, but also the deployment of hundreds of soldiers, Marines, and sailors, and dozens of helicopters and aircraft that worked side by side with the Pakistan military to deliver aid to the hungry, sick, and isolated victims of the catastrophe here in Sindh. We set up a helicopter base in Panoakil that rescued thousands of desperate Sindhis and delivered millions of kilos of humanitarian aid. It is very easy to talk about numbers of victims, quantity of aid, but when we see men, women, children huddled, cold, hungry, and wet, it touches our common humanity and makes our petty differences seem negligible. The American people continue to provide millions of dollars of health, education, energy, and irrigation development here in Sindh. The United States is funding many projects, such as health facilities, teacher training, and we are rebuilding thousands of schools. Our efforts are focused on projects that improve the lives of the average Sindhi. Since my arrival here, I have seen firsthand the strength and resilience of the people of Sindh. Let me assure you that the American assistance will continue. Commerce is an important way to cement our relationship. I'd like to use this opportunity to assure you that the United States wants to help Sindh business succeed. There is so much talent, so much economic potential here in Sindh that it seems almost impossible for it not to succeed. Every opportunity to build on that talent must be explored. As a hub of economic activity, the rich agricultural center, cement, plastics, manufacturing industries, and renowned universities are symbols of the tremendous potential of Sindh, a potential of limitless economic success. As Sindhi immigrants to the United States and Canada, you have enjoyed the fruits of opportunity. Your children look forward to an unlimited future filled with education and many career choices. That is not so for all too many Sindhis. I ask you not to forget those Sindhis that struggle to get through every day. I believe that one way in which we can all help Sindh is to illuminate the unfair and outdated practices that hold Sindh back and prevent its modernization. As Sindhi Americans, your voices carry weight. I urge you to join me in condemning the offensive practice of bonded labor that is all too prevalent here in Sindh and victimizes countless Sindhis. Through your voices, we can bring public awareness of this scourge so lives will be saved and a better future will emerge for those who live at the edge of the Sindhi economy. I realize the topic of bonded labor is a complex one. However, it is time to stop this centuries-old practice that impoverishes Sindhi workers and binds them to a feudal labor system with no way out, no chance of bettering their lives, no chance of building a decent future for their families. It is time for this practice to stop. No child should be placed in a lifetime of servitude because of a parent's meager debt. Bonded labor has no place in the 21st century. It has no place in a country that seeks to modernize its economy. Bonded labor has no place in a humane society. It has no place in a lawful society. It has no place where human rights are respected. It should have no place in Sindh. Another vital issue where your experience in North America can serve as a model of reform is the treatment of women. No doubt many of your daughters in the United States and Canada are having lives enriched with education, sports, entertainment, and career opportunities. Your voices can help bring into focus the treatment of women, too many women in Sindh, women treated with discriminatory practice that result in violence, ill health, and ignorance. Gender-based violence is a global scourge that cuts across borders and impacts all peoples, all societies. But that does not legitimize honor killings, acid attacks, and forced marriages. By putting a spotlight on this issue, we can improve prevention and begin to counter this crisis. There can be no doubt that women's participation in society is a mark of development and social enlightenment. When women are afforded their rights and given the chance to pursue education, employment, and political participation, they drive social and economic progress. They help countries as a whole to succeed. When women lift themselves up, their families, their communities, and their countries benefit. But to build this future, girls must be able to learn, to study, to participate without fear. Women must be able to make decisions about their own lives and the future of their families. I urge you to be a voice for the women of Sindh. I recently had the opportunity to visit the beautiful new Islamic Center of San Gabriel Valley in Los Angeles. It is a beautiful new complex that includes a mosque and a school. I met many successful and happy Pakistani Americans who are enjoying the freedom to practice their faith. To all my new friends visiting from the United States, I ask you to tell your stories of life there, of your success, of the opportunities of your children. Please tell your Pakistani friends of your experience as a Muslim in the United States. Speak about your mosque. Speak about your Islamic Center. There is just too much misunderstanding of the United States here in Pakistan, as there is too much misunderstanding of Pakistan in the United States. We can begin to change these misperceptions. So please, as Pakistani Americans, speak up. Your voices will resonate here in Sindh. You can have an impact. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Martin, for sharing your thoughts with us and coming over and be with us here in our session. That concludes our session here. We'll break for 15 minutes for our tea break, and we'll come back and start our session on education. Thank you very much for the. We'll conclude the session. Thank you.